Evening, everybody. It's actually quite late, and been meaning to make this video all day. And although it has been a very hectic day, a lot of time working with Michael Moore to get everything in order to present the video that we did tonight on more pain. People can see that on patreon.com/truepundit, patreon.com/crowdsource the truth, and subscribestar.com/crowdsource the truth. That took a lot of time, a lot of back and forth with Mike. He was talking to lawyers, he was talking to the victim, getting all the details, getting the video to me, getting it processed so we could tile out the person's face, keep him safe, preparing all kinds of stuff for other shows. We're going to hear from Charles Ortel tomorrow. But I had to get this out tonight because Crowdsource the Truth came under attack today. Well, it kind of came under attack 2 years ago, but a very serious and acute attack took place earlier today in the afternoon. I don't know who initiated this, but 2 complaints were filed. I received an email from YouTube that there were 2 privacy complaints on 2 videos. I've just received this. Dear Jason Goodman from the YouTube support team, this is to notify you that we've received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. And what content are they talking about? Well, let's see. It's this interview with Andrea Shea King and George Webb, where we are at the restaurant where George revealed Alan Jones' location. I don't agree with doing that, but this video has been there coming up on 2 years. It's interesting. You know, Mary knew about this. We even spoke about it in our interview the other day. So why is she striking this now? It's very interesting, isn't it? And then the other video. Well, this is our video from just the other day where she and Alan voluntarily came on the show. What am I revealing about her privacy here? No private information was revealed. I think what happened is Mary didn't like the outcome of this, so she's upset that I posted the Hammer report. Well, Mary, this is my YouTube channel, and I am free to post whatever I want. There was no agreement that your videos would be posted along with this, and had you answered my questions satisfactorily, I would not have offered people this contrast. But I think it's important that people go and watch this Hammer report that Kevin gave so that they can know the background of the questions that I am asking. Now, I don't know who put those strikes in. I could speculate, but I'll leave that to everybody else. Look at this. This is the Fashion Institute of Technology. And I have to say, considering how close it is to my apartment, I don't know that much about FIT. I guess this is robot fashion. Kind of cool. The students here do really interesting artwork. So I guess this is a museum. I don't know what's going on. This was just recently constructed. But back to the point, I spoke about this in the interview with Alan and Mary, that George had exposed that Alan was working there and he didn't want people to know that. They were trying to be low-key. Anyway, I didn't know anything about that at the time. I didn't know anything about Mary or Alan and didn't know much about them until the other day. I contacted Mary because Kevin Shipp has raised some interesting and important questions about all this information having to do with Dennis Montgomery and the Hammer. And I think that Kevin's questions are valid, so I was seeking the answers, and some of them pertain directly to things that Mary and Alan have published. And normally I would expect a journalist to answer those questions, particularly one who voluntarily appears in an interview. I would think she'd answer the questions, and if there's something I ask that she doesn't know the answer to, she could just say, I don't know. But, you know, I think people heard Mary got quite agitated. She kept interrupting me. She could not help but interrupt me. I just listen to it. I can barely get a sentence out. She's busily telling me that I interrupt her. So I really don't want to argue with Mary Fanning. I just wanted to get an answer to these questions. I wanted to know how we could have an FBI evidence receipt that has no agent signature on it. I mean, I'm no FBI agent or, never done any police work or anything like that. But it seems to me this chain of custody, the chain of evidence, you always hear about that. It's super important, right? So if we've got the evidence there and no signature, it seems like an invalid evidence receipt. And how do we trust anything on it? And why do we build an investigation on elements of evidence that are invalid? Okay? They also spoke about this this quote in WikiLeaks where it says HAMR, also pronounced the hammer. That's what Alan told us. He said it said in parentheses, also pronounced the hammer. Now, I asked them if they could direct me to that because I didn't immediately find it during the interview. Everybody knows I like to try to Google stuff on the fly and bring it up, or DuckDuckGo. Sorry, I got to start using DuckDuckGo more. But I wasn't able to find it, and I thought I asked Alan or Mary if they could direct me to it on the interview. Maybe not. I definitely emailed Mary and asked her if she could share it with me, because I wasn't saying that was not true. I was just didn't see it, and I want to sort of put these pieces together. So people heard the phone call where Mary refused to give it to me. Mary might not have liked that phone call, but New York is a one-party consent state with regard to recording phone calls. And I mean, if you want to get on the phone with me and be a jerk, be prepared for that to potentially go out. I mean, frankly, the NSA and others apparently are recording all of our phone calls, so you're at a bit of a disadvantage to not record your own phone calls. Anyway, these complaints, these privacy complaints, I certainly think they're invalid. I don't really know what the YouTube guidelines are with regard to the privacy complaints. We'd have to look up their terms of service to read the letter of the end user license agreement and understand exactly what we're dealing with. But I imagine it's like, video recording somebody's house with a telephoto lens without their permission, or, posting pictures of somewhere where you have an expectation of privacy, not somebody in public, not coming on somebody's show voluntarily and then later deciding you don't like it. Doesn't seem like a privacy complaint. It seems like maybe someone's just fishing for complaints. Now, the thing that's troubling about this is I got these emails from YouTube, two complaints. And I've told a lot of people about the existing strike on Crowdsource the Truth. YouTube is always changing their policies. It used to be one strike and you were out for 3 months, no live streaming. And I think a lot of people like watching live streams on Crowdsource the Truth. We got a lot of different interesting guests, and they've got a lot of information to share. I had hoped that Mary and Alan would become those type of guests and share interesting information with us. I still want to know what a browser exploit throwing framework is. I can tell you that Mary Fanning doesn't know what it is. It's not malware. And even if it is malware, that's very imprecise. I think it might be finding malware or distributing malware or enabling users to do something with malware, but didn't seem like a good explanation, and she doesn't seem like an IT expert to me. Not that I am, but I know when somebody is making something up. Welcome to New York. This is the late night construction. Pretty cool. This is, I guess this is Herald Square. I don't know. It's probably overexposed. I don't know if people can see those signs. But they're advertising Spider-Man. So, yeah. So rather than answer the questions or just say, here's the link to WikiLeaks, and it says, actually not what Alan quoted, which was part of the reason why it was difficult for me to find, but it does say H-A-M-R, pronounced hammer. I still maintain that that's not the same as if it said H-A-M-R, also known as, or alternatively called, the hammer. That would mean something, but we've got this vague explanation. When I was doing some research, looking around, I found a number of different things that use the acronym HAMR. There is a new hard drive technology, I think Seagate is introducing during 2019 called heat augmented magnetic recording. It's supposed to increase the density of traditional spinning platter hard drive. They're kind of not able to expand those that much anymore, so somehow heating it up will make it store more. There was a Harvard automated mechanical robot or something like that. There was there was a big data analytics framework called Hammer. And I saw an article about it from 2014. It's having a public beta test in 2014. Now, why would some super secret clandestine browser exploit throwing platform have a public beta if the CIA or the NSA or whoever is using it? I don't think they want to distribute it to the public. So there's a lot of confusion surrounding this HAMR. And if Mary doesn't know what it means or what it is, how is she the expert on it? Anyway, I don't really care about that. I've determined that we need to find more information about this to really figure out what's going on. But it's very sad to me that someone would put 2 strikes on these videos, because what that means is, YouTube said they're reviewing these videos to decide if they're going to strike them or not. And if those 2 videos get struck, Crowdsource the Truth could be totally deleted tomorrow. So if you wake up tomorrow and this video is not there, you're going to have to watch on Periscope or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth, subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth. As a matter of fact, that would be a great idea. If this malicious striker succeeds in taking down Crowdsource the Truth, I hope that people will just join patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth or subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth, because that will send a message to social engineers who would rather put malicious strikes on videos than answer simple questions. That will send a message to them that you're not going to be able to shut this down. There's too many people who realize what's going on, and it's not going to work. So I hope that people will go to Patreon. You can enjoy exclusive subscriber-only content. The sponsors on Patreon and Subscribestar make this channel possible. They allow me to continue bringing you guys the information that the mainstream news won't, to keep bringing you the guests that the mainstream news won't. With Mike Moore tonight, fantastic report on the last investigation of Jenny Moore. Witness testimony. Some people have been waiting a year to hear that. This is risky stuff. This is not, some garbage man walking around from Staten Island stalking, harassing, and intimidating people on the street. This is people's lives are at stake. So there's no room for that kind of nonsense. And whoever it is that struck these videos should just come right out and say it. They should admit it. They should admit that they're interested in engaging in underhanded, malicious tactics rather than answering questions, rather than supporting their assertions with evidence and facts. So, I seem to think that it's a problem that we've got an evidence receipt with no agent signature on it. And I don't understand how Dennis Montgomery having a stroke would prevent an FBI agent from signing his or her own signature. I get it that they signed for Dennis Montgomery, but I'm pretty sure if there's some official document with a line that says signature, they want the person whose signature it is to write that. And if it's not written by the person, there's got to be some procedure for indicating that. Kevin told us that there's laws that dictate this chain of custody, handling of evidence and stuff, and that makes sense. I don't know what the law is. We could look that up, but that makes sense. It doesn't make as much sense to me that the FBI can just take in valuable evidence, not write down who signed it in, not write down who, not have the signature of the person who gave it to them. It's pretty bizarre. Whoa. So there you go. Pretty bizarre that would occur. And I think it's a problem. I think we need to learn more about that. I think we need to learn more about what this HAMR is. We need to learn how Dennis Montgomery got this banking information, Kevin spoke about sweeper accounts. What's his relationship with Michael Hayden? You know, Mary dismisses that as minutia. I think that details matter. I mean, we're trying to unravel a mystery here. We got to know what's going on. Have people seen this thing? This is like the fashion district now. There's a giant button with a needle in it over there. That's pretty interesting. It's kind of walking up to Times Square, but it is super late. And I think I got to get back and start thinking about going to sleep. Been a long day, but I hope the channel doesn't get struck down. I've spent 2 years building this and building a platform. I want people to consider what that means. You know, this is my business, and this is how I earn money. So all the people that are out there trying to shut it down, whether they're social engineers putting in crappy comments or people striking the videos, you know, how are they helping? That's not helping. If what I was saying was bad, I think people would tune out. And I should also clarify that social engineering accounts aren't necessarily non-people or fake accounts. There's plenty of people driving these accounts. I'll do some more videos about, exposing social engineering campaigns. Actually, this is one of them. I believe this is a social engineering campaign. I don't think anybody's privacy was invaded on that interview. And we'll have to see what YouTube decides. Obviously, I don't control YouTube. They could strike anything they want. That Cody Snodgrass, Ole Damagard video was deleted by YouTube in 2018. I didn't re-upload it. Just one day out of nowhere, I got an email from YouTube that said, hey, this video violates the community guidelines. It was the same, same transgression the thing got deleted for, and I never added it back. I appealed it the day I got that strike in April. It's prevented monetization for 3 months. It's supposed to be coming back on in a couple days. Really interesting that these 2 strikes came in just before that third one's about to expire. I got to check the rules. I mean, YouTube's always changing their rules, but I have a feeling that YouTube could just delete the whole channel if they wanted to. So I hope that people will go to patreon.com/crowdsource the truth. Definitely, you're going to want to see tonight's episode of More Pain. Might be tomorrow by the time you see this video. I mean, that's firsthand testimony from a witness. Seems very credible to me. Seems like somebody the FBI should talk to. I think people should watch the press conference from Jeffrey Berman, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, who's leading this case against Jeffrey Epstein. He said yesterday he wants witnesses to come forward. So Mike Moore and I got together. We put this video out. I would like to put this witness in touch with the FBI. I mean, what if this proves a crucial piece of evidence in bringing some child rapist to prison? Who's out there trying to stop us from doing that? Have a good night, everybody. Go over to patreon.com/crowdsource the truth or subscribestar.com/crowdsource the truth. Sign up, sponsor the show, watch the exclusive subscriber-only content, and thank you to everybody who's already doing that. And remember one thing. In order to protect the sponsor-only exclusive videos from the draconian policies of Google and YouTube, they're hosted from Vimeo, so it works a little bit differently than YouTube. After the live stream ends, if you missed it or want to watch it immediately, unfortunately there's a little bit of a wait time. YouTube's got to render it or process it or whatever to turn the live stream video into a video on demand video that can be played back at any time. And I mean, that I've noticed that takes somewhere between, if somebody want to say hello, usually takes between about the time, the actual duration of the video, sometimes as little as half that time. So an hour-long video could take 30 to 60 minutes to become ready for video on demand playback. And I also want to remind everybody that unfortunately the Patreon app on iOS and Android does not work with Vimeo. However, if you watch on a phone or a tablet, just use Safari or Chrome and it works totally fine. So I hope that people will join us on there, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for a great day, everybody. A lot of important information coming out.